Slenderman's Shadow is a popular spin-off series to Slender the 8 Pages, created by Mark Steen and Ray Burgess in 2012. The series had a total of 7 games or maps, so let's start with the first one. Sanatorium was the name of the first map, released on August 12, 2012. This one is very similar to the 8 Pages, but there are a few key differences. For starters, you are, as the title says, in a sanatorium. You are still collecting pages, however. In this game, once all the pages are collected, you need to escape before the Slenderman gets you. In other versions, you would be granted a pistol to kill the Slenderman, but this was removed in an update, as the creators thought escaping was more satisfying. There are also an obsolete version of the game, like version 1.0, but there was an alpha that was found. So yeah. I don't know anyone that's played the alpha, but there have been some people that played it. Hospice is the name of the second map. This one was released on August 21st, 2012, just 9 days later. This one is a bit different to Sanatorium. You're still collecting pages, but it's now a poem. Every page contains 2 lines. The poem reads, "Dark Woodsman, oh, should I travel through the woods, or should I not, wishing I would? For above me lurks within the trees, no one can hear my deathly screams. The palest man, the blackest suit, bigger than the tallest brute. 6 black arms will grab you up, or stalk you till you just give up. A top hat bears upon his head, fills your soul with dread. Boil you up and eat your neck. He'll leave your body not to eat, but staple your corpse on a tree. Fear the man, the Slender Man, for he can do what no one can." This was also the first game where you could drop glow sticks. This was useful for marking your steps. Overall, this map has the same feel of Sanatorium, but the Slenderman is more aggressive in this one, so it is slightly harder to beat. There is also a little Easter egg with a fire pit, with the infamous troll face saying, "You mad, bro?" and a reference to PewDiePie. Slenderman's model has also been redone in this map. He now looks a bit more human. On August 31st, 2012, the third map was released. This one was called Elementary. This one was quite possibly the most popular map out of all 7 maps. Instead of pages, you're now collecting teddy bears that are spiked upon the wall. And in this one, there is also now chase music. This plays whenever Slenderman rapidly teleports behind you or in front of you. You would also receive unlimited sprint until the music is done. Fun fact, there is actually 9 teddy bears in this game. Nothing happens when you collect the 9th, so it's clearly a mistake from the developers. There is also more gore in this game than Sanatorium and Hospice. For example, there's a head on a desk, body parts on the floor, and a torso on a tree. And Slenderman's model is also the same as it is in Hospice. On September 8th, 2012, Mansion was released. This one is very different to all the other maps. For starters, this was the first map where you needed to collect not 8 things, but 12 things, or as this map calls them, mementos. The story follows by saying the character is in a coma due to Slender sickness, so they have to break out of the coma. They are dreaming of their childhood home, but the Slenderman has followed them there. The Slenderman also has a new model. Now he is taller and his fingers are stretched. There is also a cool feature in this map, where if you collect 10 or more mementos, you could activate drunk mode. Activating this will make your vision extremely blurred, while the circus theme song plays in the background for a few minutes. The chase music can also play, however it is less likely to happen. Oh yeah, and you also need to find 2 keys to open the basement and the top floor of the mansion. Eight days later, on September 16th, 2012, the 5th map was released, this one being called Claustrophobia. This one takes place outside in a maze. This time, you need to collect 10 keys, scattered around the maze. The more keys you collect, the more often you would turn a corner and the Slender Man would be right there. Fun fact, this map is known to be the largest map in the Slender Man Shadow series. There is also a cool new feature, where if you collect 8 or more keys, you can activate Mushroom Trip Mode. Activating this mode will make your vision extremely saturated. Unfortunately, this was the final game to feature a mode like this. There is also another new feature, where if you stare at Slenderman, your screen will go dark. If it gets dark, you need to get away from him as fast as possible. If it's still dark, he will kill you shortly after. On September 27th, 2012, the 6th map was released, this one being called 7th Street, taking place on what appear to be multiple sets of streets. This one felt a little more scarier to play than the others, due to the music being completely different. The Slenderman's model is still the same, however, and the objective now is back to collecting 8 pages. Other than that, there's not much to say about this map, but it still is pretty decent, and fun, and scary at the same time. On October 8th, 2012, the final original map from Slenderman's Shadow was released. This one was called Prison. And this one, the objective is now collecting 8 photos that are scattered around a prison. This map was known by the community to be the hardest one out of all the Slenderman Shadow maps, and for good reason too. Because after collecting the first photo, you have approximately 130 seconds to collect the others before the Slenderman gets you. Sprinting is also pretty difficult in this map, since it reveals where you are to the Slenderman, and he's much more faster. As of 2023, only 22 people have completed the map. Nonetheless, it is not impossible to beat, but it was a fun map to play. Fun fact, there's a known bug in this map. You can fall through the floor at certain locations. And if your screen flashes static, it lets you know that the Slender Man has found you, and you need to start running. The Slenderman's model has also been redone in this game. He is a little shorter than the previous model. His arms are longer, his fingers are longer, he has a grayish suit, and his head is actually egg-shaped. In January 2013, Mark Steen and Ray Burgess decided to remaster the old maps using the Unity engine. I won't go through all of them, but there are 2 maps that I would like to briefly mention. They are called Carnival and Christmas Special, so let's get started with them. In Carnival, you are playing as a man who is looking for clues in her daughter's disappearance. This map was known to be a more harder one, but not as hard as Prison, because no one knew what the evidence looked like. Turns out it was pages that you were collecting. The Slender Man also has a new model. Now he looks even more thinner, a little shorter though. His suit is black, and his arms are longer, but his head is an egg-shaped. Overall, this map was a pretty decent one to play, and to be honest, it still is today. And last but not least, we have Christmas Special. In this one, you are in the North Pole, and you need to find 8 presents while avoiding not Slenderman, but Santa Claus. This map was very interesting. Instead of playing the eerie soundtrack, it plays a remix of the Jingle Bells song. And Slenderman, or Santa Claus I should say, when he catches you, he says, "Merry Christmas, ho 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 ho." So that's all for this map. Well, that was the history of Slenderman's Shadow. I hope you enjoyed the video. This is Movie Shadow signing off.